Welcome to Safari Niagara. I am petting a beautiful owl. What type of owl?
This is a Eurasian eagle owl.
A Eurasian eagle owl, and he is part of the Birds of Prey exhibit here at Safari Niagara. I'm being joined by Bria, who is all about the educational programming here. Tell us a little bit about the Birds of Prey and what people can see when they come here.
Absolutely, and so we have Kale here. Kale is in our Wonders of Flight show, and this show is a lot of fun if you are interested in seeing animals in free flight. And so we work with our birds every morning, and so what we're doing is giving folks a behind-the-scenes look at some of the training we do here with our birds.
Okay.
And so Haley here holding Kale, she is a falconer, and so...
A falconer?
Yes.
That's not a job you hear every day.
No, that's right, that's right. And so the work that she does with Kale is very much rooted in the ancient art and tradition of falconry. You'll notice that she's wearing her glove on her left hand, even though she is not left-handed. That is part of the tradition. You'll notice that Kale is sitting here and he's scanning the area with his eyes and with his intense sense of hearing.
I feel like he can turn his head like all the way around.
So that's a really interesting comment to make, and that is a it's one of those things.
It's a rumor. Yeah.
It's one of those things that lots of people will say, I think an owl can turn their head all the way around.
Because they look like they can. Like when he turns his head, it looks like it's going to go all the way around like The Exorcist.
So Kale is a vertebrate species. Birds are vertebrate species and they have spines, just like you and I. And so that means that his head is attached to the rest of his body. So contrary to popular belief, an owl can't turn their head all the way around, but he can do a 270-degree turn. And that is going to give him a full 360-degree field of view. And so he's got those big, bright orange eyes, right?
Beautiful.
And so his eyes are so much bigger than ours, and he can see so much better than we can, but we can do something that Kale can't do.
What can we do?
We can turn our eyes in our eye sockets.
Oh.
So he can't.
Oh, that's why he can turn his head.
Yes. He actually can't turn his eyes or move his eyes in his eye socket, so he has to be able to turn his head. And so he's going to use those to scan the area, and birds like Kale are incredibly sensitive to environmental disturbance and human disturbance, and so his
wingspan is massive.
He's got an incredible wingspan.
Yeah.
And so what you'll notice is that owls like Kale are going to engage in something, a near silent flight.
Oh,
and when you think about, you don't hear him. You wouldn't hear him sneak up on his prey because he is hunting for things like rodents. So owls do an incredible job to keep our communities disease and pest free. They hunt a lot of rodents, and they typically hunt at night. And so in order for him to be able to sneak up on something like a rodent who has a very keen sense of hearing, you have to be able to sneak up really quiet. And so his wings are designed to help him with this near silent flight.
That's amazing. He's just a gorgeous, gorgeous bird. Aren't you, sweetheart? Yes, you are. Okay, we've got so much to discover here at Safari Niagara. There's so many things to do here at the park. It's family friendly. It is the perfect summer activity. Make sure you stay with us because we have so much more coming up on Morning Live. We are back at Safari Niagara, and we are now hanging out with the lions. Such powerful, beautiful creatures. Being joined by Kendra. Kendra, what is your position here with these beautiful beasts?
Yeah, so I'm one of the senior lead keepers here at Safari Niagara. I've worked here for almost 11 years now, so I am actually primarily our hoofstock keeper. So normally what I'm doing on a daily basis is like giraffes, our zebra, our range animals, but I do work with our carnivores as well. So this group of 4, which are 2 yellow ones that are out right now, those are our sisters, Kabira and Kahari.
He's slow going.
Yeah, Kairos, I was going to say, Kairos takes his time to where he's going. That's our male, and then we do have another female, Kia. She may hang back, but we've had this pride of lions here at Safari Niagara for about 6 years now. So we've had them from a few months old. About 6 years.
Okay, and how long do they normally live?
In the wild, they would be probably about 10 to 12 years, but here in the zoo setting under managed care, it's about 15 to 20. So at 6, these guys are really relatively young, right?
I love that. They're gorgeous, like the ferocity, like I'm trying to put ferocious and amazing in the same word, and it's not working out, but that's how I feel like they are.
Yeah, no, they are, like, when you look at them, right, they're very big, powerful cats, but this is a really good example with the piñatas. They do have a lot of very similar aspects to your domestic house cat, right?
Totally.
Yeah, they love to play with stuff, boxes, anything colored, any type of enrichment these guys are really good with, anything scent-based, but piñatas are always fun because they're brightly colored and they get to destroy them, right?
Well, I was just about to say, like, did you put anything in them?
I did not, no.
They're just empty boxes that they're having a good time with.
Yeah, I debated spraying some perfume on them, but
Cats
I
are
know
so
these.
funny.
Yeah, I know these four, and really, if it's a bright colored object, they're gonna go after it.
Okay, so there's 4 of them in here. Now, what about like a breeding process? Do you guys do any of that here?
So no, we don't. We don't do any breeding here. Technically, they would be a breeding pride, but we don't do that at our facility. There are a lot of facilities that do manage breeding for lions, but lions as a whole, the breeding program is not as big as what it used to be, in a sense that lions are actually they're coming up on the endangered species list, if you will, right? So yeah, their population in the wild is actually increased over the last 10 years. So there's been less breeding with these guys and more conservation efforts, like out in the wild, right, to stop things like poaching, human-wildlife conflict, making sure that these guys have adequate space to live and food to find. So that's kind of where the focus is for these guys at the moment.
Now, when people come to Safari Niagara, what's the best time to see the lions?
Usually in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually in the morning. So when they go out first thing in the morning, they're very active. But one thing about lions is these guys sleep anywhere from 20 to 22 hours a day.
What?
Yeah, which is pretty crazy, right? Like, I wish I had enough time to sleep that many hours
Me too.
a day. Yeah, so usually the morning is the best time to see these guys, or closer to the end of the day when our park is getting closer to closing, just because they're a little bit more active, right? Lions are active first thing in the morning,
or evening.
Yeah, or at dusk, right? So those are really the 2 prime times. But quite frankly, even if they're not active, these guys are always out, usually
they're
lounging.
still chilling.
Yeah, they're just chilling. So you're
chilling.
guaranteed to always see them. They just may be a little sleepier at certain times of the day. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for throwing out the piñatas for us to be able to see them in their excitement. We have so much more to cover here at Safari Niagara, so don't go anywhere. But for now, I'm going to send things back inside the studio. Well, it's time to cool off here at Safari Niagara. There is so much to do for the entire family. Of course, you've got all the amazing animals that we have discovered, and when you need a break and you just need to cool off, maybe sit down, have a snack, grab your lunch, you've got this beautiful splash pad. Taryn is joining me now, and Taryn, you're the brand new general manager here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
This has been such a fun experience, and I've only been here for about 15 minutes, and I understand why families could stay all day.
Absolutely. There's always something to do, from our animal shows to our splash pads to our playgrounds. We have the ropes course, bouncy pillows. Basically, we have everything.
Yeah.
There's multiple food locations.
And the list goes on and on. I mean, you can plan your day from first thing in the morning, and you can stay pretty much right until the end of the afternoon.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much to see and do here. You can do it all, pack it all into one day, or get a season pass and come back multiple times. I mean, there's so much to do. Every day is different.
What would you recommend are like the top 3 must-sees here?
The top 3 must-sees would probably be our Wonders of Flight show, our feeding on our giraffe deck, the splash pad, the playground, and
You're gonna name like 7.
there's too many to list. I can't name 3.
It's true though, and you know what I love about this place is that it is so comfortable. I mean, you can go to lots of zoos and you can go to exhibitions, but everywhere you turn, there's a bench. There are garbage cans. There are places to fill up water bottles. I mean, you really have thought of everything when it comes to catering to family environments. You know, there's changing tables and there's nursing stations and areas that you can go and, you know, have some private time. So bringing the little ones, it's such a great spot.
Absolutely. We really focused on providing like a full service experience for families and of Niagara region and beyond. So you can just come for the day. You can come have lunch here, play in the splash pad, learn about our conservation efforts. There's lots to do here. We've really tried to encompass everything and, be out in nature.
Yeah, and that's the best part. You're outside the whole time, but there is a ton of shade, which is great too. So they really cater to everybody here. We are going to be checking out some more animals on Morning Live, but for now, I think I need to cool off a little bit. It's getting a little warm. Lots more coming up on Morning Live. I am madly in love right now. I cannot even believe how cute these guys are. Back at Safari Niagara, Bria joining us again. And Bria, the baby, are you joking? This is ridiculous.
I know. And you know what's really funny is that you look at this cute family and you see mom, dad, older brother, and younger sister. So baby's name is Mikasa, but she's actually clinging to dad. And people don't realize that Siamang gibbons, their family structure has dad playing a huge parenting role.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Why is that?
And so mom, she is going to give birth. Every 2 to 3 years, they'll have a baby. And she's going to take care of that baby and nurse that baby for the first approximately 5 to 9 months.
Okay.
And then she's going to start to give dad more parenting responsibilities.
Okay.
And dad is going to be responsible not only for playing with the baby, but general care. He's going to teach baby life skills, how to forage.
How to climb.
Yeah, what he's doing right now, it's called brachiation. So he's hanging from really like his fingertips. And so he's going to teach baby how to do that. And so for the most part, she is going to cling to dad.
Wow.
In this exhibit specifically, we're seeing some really amazing behaviors because Rascal, the oldest brother.
Is that Rascal right there?
Yes, that's that's mom. We've got Rascal back here.
Okay.
But Rascal,
how can you tell them apart? Like you must work very closely with these monkeys, because
when we work with the primates, you get to know them and their personalities and their looks.
Yeah.
And so
they've got different facial features.
They do. And so males will have a little tuft of hair on their bums, and so she will have a bare bum. And some other feminine features.
Yeah.
And so, yes.
Full glory.
So what we've noticed though is Rascal has been taking on a really interesting babysitter role.
Really?
And so oftentimes we'll see him playing with Mikasa, and so for us this is a really interesting sign that he is going to be an excellent dad when it's his turn to start his own family. So at Safari Niagara, we have a thriving population of gibbons. This is one of the most endangered family of primates, and so we have 3 different kinds of gibbons here at the zoo. These Siamang gibbons do this really loud bellowing call.
Yeah, we can kind of hear them. Is that them over there?
So that's our agile gibbons, or our Lars gibbons, on the other side. So the Lars gibbons are doing their call. These guys, when they make their call, they're going to inflate their throat sacs, and male and female will engage in this call together. It's called duetting. And so their ability to sing back and forth with each other, if they sing in really great harmony, it really demonstrates to other gibbons in the area that they have a really strong bond.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so there's...
Don't come and talk to my wife, because she's mine.
I know.
She's my wife.
And he does a
my
really
husband.
good job of raising baby. So we're really happy to see all of these really great family values.
How old is baby?
Oh, so baby is just under a year old.
Oh, just under a year old. So you have to get to Safari Niagara this summer. You want to check out all the babies that they have here. So many great animals. If you want, you can get your tickets. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thanks for coming.
We've appreciated learning everything. SafariNiagara.com is where you can get more information and all your ticket information. And everything will be up on our website at chch.com as well.